How's it going? This is our monthly internal customer call. How's it going, internal customer?
It's going well. How are you?
Good. Um, I was just do you have any? Well, added some items to the agenda. We can go through those, but I do. If you have any questions or pressing matters, we could start with that as well if they haven't been added to the agenda.
Yeah, I don't think I have anything. Um, I think for the most part, my questions from last meeting are still the same answers are still applying. I think at the moment, right? So in
Yeah,
terms of what went out in the current release and holding off until we have GitLab.com actually cleaning up, I think. Right?
exactly. Yeah, no major changes on that front yet. I updated the roadmap presentation, some small changes. We added new themes and overall for a CI/CD, and those persist throughout the whole CI/CD section. As part of that, we updated a bunch of our epics for the package stage as well. So those are actually one thing I'm really excited about is we moved from having really being milestone to milestone with in terms of our planning to having these epics laid out and covering milestones like 12.4 now through 12.7. So it's and beyond. So it's nice to have all of these epics listed out and all of the issues at least slated. I'm sure things will move around or get reprioritized or not finished, but at least we have a plan, and that feels really good. So it only took me 4.5 months to get to where we could think beyond the first milestone, but we're finally getting there as a team. So that's good. Um, we are, the core theme that we have going now is this lower the cost of the container registry. Dan's not on the call. We decided, I think I mentioned last month, that we were going to fork Docker DDR, Docker distribution registry. And the first thing we're going to try to do is improve the garbage collection algorithm. So we saw that there are some changes that were attempted to push back up through Docker's GitHub project that were never accepted. That showed like orders of magnitude improvement in the process. So we're evaluating if we can make those changes ourselves and if possible, push them back up. And if not, then we're going to have to start to think about maintaining a separate fork and what some of the implications of that will be. And I think Dan has started a couple of conversations with people on the distribution and infrastructure team, although I'm not sure how far those conversations have gone so far. The other thing that we'll do is optimizing the bulk delete API. We experienced this during the cutover for going from EE to CE, or a single code base, and we were trying to delete 30,000 tags or something, and it was just hanging. And I learned a lot about that process, about the process of how that bulk delete API works. It's actually just going and queuing one at a time, synchronously or asynchronously. I can't remember. But it's problematic. The performance is one of the worst performing API endpoints on GitLab.com. So in 12.4, we have two big performance optimization tasks planned. One is the garbage collection algorithm, and the second is improving that bulk delete API. If we could delete that bulk delete API, then we could focus on introducing a group level bulk delete endpoint, which would allow us to remove tags at a much broader level, and maybe even start to do that for GitLab.com. Even if we don't, it depends on how successful our optimization is of the garbage collection algorithm. If we see it's several orders of magnitude and it's something that we could run with a bit of downtime, maybe it's something we could leverage, but more investigation and testing is needed for that. I mentioned the epics. So on the agenda, these are the active epics that we're pursuing and in priority order. So I mentioned the lower the cost of the container registry. There's other things that are included in there, like being able to expire images via CI, or similar to how we handle merge requests. You could say delete the source branch when the merge has been approved. We should do the same. I think we should do the same thing for images. Would you use that, DJ or Alex, if you had that ability? like the idea of in your CI YAML file, you could say expire in 7 days or expire on merge.
Yeah, we would definitely use it in our team, especially the expire when like branch deleted, so on merge.
We're talking about images, right? Like expiring images.
Yeah.
That would be super useful. I can't think of a use for us yet, but I know it would be useful.
Okay. That's good to know. Okay, so and you could check out these issues if you're curious. The other remaining epics, the creating visibility and transparency, that's really about improving our overall user interface to make sure that it makes sense for GitLab. Like for the container registry, we're not showing which pipeline or Docker file created an image, or we're not including a lot of the metadata that's available to us, let alone the metadata that's available from Docker, the Docker manifest, or from NPM or anything like that. So we have a survey out now where we have some more user research that our product designers doing, and we have tasks to redesign the user interface and get that data showing up in the UI. So I'm excited about that. I think I'm just anxious to get it done because I hope that's going to be really valuable. And the next one is supporting additional package managers. So Conan, which was planned for 12.3, slipped to 12.4. Unfortunately, everything's in review, but it just couldn't make 12.3 in time. We have NuGet that we're planning on starting for .NET developers in 12.5, and we have a community contribution for Composer, which is the PHP package manager, which we're going to try and push over the line if possible. But if it's too much work, we'll see how it goes. The ones that impact us, Python is next, and then Ruby. But we're trying to figure out a way to make the whole process go faster. Conan's taken us a couple of milestones to get this done, and we really want to improve the process and make sure that when we start one, that we have a 1 milestone path to an MVC, and maybe a 2 milestone path to the feature being viable. And then there's the next one's improve the usability. That's kind of like a catch-all for a bunch of UX and other types of bugs that we have. So that's less defined. And then improving the performance and reliability of the registry. That epic really is more about the dependency proxy. So allowing for caching of images or really any packages. And for some of that, that actually leads to my next question. I know that we're deploying Puma to GitLab.com soon. And once we do that, the dependency proxy is going to be live. So I'm wondering, do you all know the status of when we'll officially switch to Puma for .com?
I don't. I'm trying to think. I don't even know. I don't know that my team would be the one to do that. But I have not heard Taco doing that. I did see an issue recently about tuning it, but I don't know. I think we might be doing it in staging, but I'd have to verify that.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure how far it's gone, but I know I think it's a priority for the performance team.
Yes, and we do have it on ops and dev right now.
Okay. I wonder if we could find if any of you have use cases for the dependency proxy that we could test on dev or on staging, just because I don't want it to go to production and then find out that the feature doesn't work at any level of scale. And I know Jason was asking me to help to find some use cases. We were working through, I know for our CI fleet, we're not caching any of those images. We had to turn off the Docker caching that we were using. So I don't know if the dependency proxy would be a good use case for that. Or if you know who I could talk to about that.
Yeah, for the container registry dependency proxy, so we do in dev where it would be available right now, we do actually basically everything that we do in .com, we actually also do in dev. So we have lots of containers, but most of them are our own. We actually have very few in the Docker registry dependencies on Docker Hub.
Oh, I see.
Really just our base image. At this point, maybe 2 base images, and that's it. We could test it out with those 2 base images, but it would be a very, very small test.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to keep working to try and find some use cases that we can leverage. But yeah, generally in order, the next step for the dependency proxy will be to add authentication support, so it works for private projects. And I suspect there might be some performance tuning once we start to see it under load as it gets adopted.
Yeah, we would be able to test whether it's like just working or not in dev, but we wouldn't be able to put it under much load with our use case.
Okay, that's good to know. That's the summary of the agenda that I had. Anything else that you all want to talk about? Okay.
Yeah, no, I joined late. Tim, I think I probably haven't made very many of these, if any, since I started. I finally have gotten myself into a position where I understand, like, at least where the goalposts are and how the team works. And so now I'm sort of taking the next step to understand things like package dependencies and whatnot. So appreciate you having this call. I know, DJ, you've sat in on most of these and have a much better understanding of what the team needs in terms of packaging. I'm interested in the dependency proxy stuff. It's not happening yet, but the idea of being able to build our cloud native images completely offline in an air-gapped style environment is something that we're working through. The federal team wants it. We're saving that towards the end of our project to where we've got a working thing. It's usable. We just need to be able to build it in an offline environment. So we may have some new requirements or ideas of things that we need, maybe in the coming quarter, I would say.
How can I best get involved with that project to make sure that we're planning things in the right direction and things like that?
I think a good place to start would be, I'll add the links for the issues that we're working on today. A big thing that we're struggling with this federal project in particular is the lack of hard requirements. It's kind of like, hey, we know we want hardening, but we don't know exactly what we're going to harden. And so we're going to, and then, hey, we want to be able to build it offline, but we don't have all the details of what exactly we're going to build offline. And so I'll paste you the issues, and you can watch those to sort of get a glimpse into the work that we're doing. But I think that's probably the best place to look, at least for right now.
Okay, yeah, that would be great. I just want to, if I can get involved sooner, because a lot of the dependency proxy work is sitting behind planned container registry work and some net new integrations. So I want to make sure I just have my priorities straight with what GitLab's trying to, with our combined long-term goals.
Gotcha. Yeah, and I think the dependency proxy on the .com stuff makes total sense to me, right? Because we can save the amount of infrastructure we have to run, but I think on the self-managed stuff, it's a little bit more, we don't have anybody doing it yet.
Exactly.
And so we don't have even like kind of an unsupported model to look at yet. So there's lots of questions on, is it even viable, right? But yeah, definitely. That's in terms of where that project, meets the package team. That feels like an effort that we're going to be taking on. Like I said, probably in October, November, we'll be ready to at least look at it.
Okay, that's good to know. If you could add those links to the agenda, I can follow up.
Yes, sir. I'll add them right now.
Okay. Anything else, Alex or DJ?
Not that I can think of.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we've definitely, in the last month, we've hit some pain points that would have been solved if we had the Ruby gems and a dependency proxy for Ruby gems. So really both the Ruby gems package manager and the dependency proxy in place for that. So of course, that's much further out, but that's still top of mind for us as well. And then our team, this release is now starting to take a look at Helm 3, which is somewhat related to one of the items for the packaging team as well, right? With the Helm chart repository and the container registry.
We are. I think it's I shouldn't ever say anything's easy, but I think it's relatively easy compared to some of the other problems we're tackling to add in Helm support to the container registry. We have an issue plan that I just moved to 12.5. I think we just have to change the accepted format types for what's in the container registry to support Helm charts.
Yeah, so for us at this point, we're just starting the research task. So we might as a result of that be throwing some questions in as well into the issue around the hosting it in GitLab as well.
Okay, that'd be great. Do you have you want me to send you a link to that issue?
I have it here, I think.
Okay, cool. Okay.
It was linked in one of the epics, I think.
Yes, exactly. Okay, cool. Well, thank you everyone for attending. And if anything comes up, or you want to talk through use cases or problems, please hit me up. I'm always happy to talk through this stuff, and I appreciate your help.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Thanks for the offer. See ya.
Bye.
Bye.